Imagine this. You and your entire extended family just got into a massive brawl with the biggest, baddest empire in the world. You put up a solid fight, maybe even won a few rounds, but in the end, well, things didn't quite go your way. Now your house is on fire, thanks Rome, your neighbors are missing, and your only choice is to pack up, grab grandma, and hit the road. Except there are no roads, just endless forests and a lot of questionable survival skills. Welcome to the world of the migrating Germanic tribes. If you've ever wondered what happens to the losing side in history's biggest conflicts, buckle up, because this is one wild ride. Think of it as the ultimate road trip, but with fewer snacks and way more existential dread. So what went wrong? The Germanic tribes had spent centuries poking the Roman Empire, testing its borders, raiding its towns, and occasionally teaming up with it when convenient. But by the 4th and 5th centuries CE, things got really spicy. Rome was collapsing under its own weight, civil wars and economic disasters, and the Germanic tribes saw an opportunity. Some pushed forward, hoping to carve out new homes inside the empire. Others got pushed back, sometimes by Rome, sometimes by rival tribes, sometimes by a whole new group of terrifying invaders from the east. Thanks for the cameo, Huns. And so, the Great Migration began. Imagine thousands of people, warriors, elders, children, and livestock moving through forests, mountains, and rivers, searching for a place to settle before either Rome, starvation, or another angry tribe caught up with them. It was like a medieval reality show, except nobody got voted off the island, they just got wiped out. The Visigoths were one of the first Germanic groups to knock on Rome's door, metaphorically speaking. After getting bullied by the Huns, they sought refuge within Roman territory, promising to behave in exchange for food and land. Rome, being the ultimate bad landlord, gave them some real estate in the Balkans, but treated them terribly, price-gouging food, exploiting them, and generally being the worst Airbnb host ever. Unsurprisingly, this backfired spectacularly. In 410 CE, the Visigoths, led by Alaric, said, "You know what? Let's just sack Rome." And they did. They stormed the Eternal City, looted the place, and sent a message. Germanic tribes weren't just Rome's problem, they were Rome's replacement. If you thought the Visigoths were ambitious, wait until you meet the Vandals. Originally from what is now Poland, they got pushed out by the Huns and decided, hey, why not go to Spain? So they did. Then they got bored and thought, you know what's even better? Africa. So they crossed into North Africa, took Carthage, and built a pirate empire that terrorized the Mediterranean. Rome, of course, wasn't thrilled about this, but by the time they sent an army to take Carthage back, the Vandals had settled in nicely. They even sacked Rome in 455 CE, proving once and for all that if you keep mistreating migrating Germanic tribes, they will absolutely show up at your house and wreck your furniture. While the Visigoths and Vandals were busy rearranging Rome's furniture, the Ostrogoths, cousins of the Visigoths, were waiting for their moment. When the Western Roman Empire finally collapsed in 476 CE, spoiler alert, it didn't go out with a bang, just a sad little whimper. The Ostrogoths, led by Theodoric the Great, saw their chance. Instead of burning everything down, Theodoric took a different approach. He took over Italy and tried to run things like a proper Roman emperor. The result? A brief but glorious moment where Germanic warriors were wearing togas and pretending to be refined statesmen. It was like a biker gang moving into a 5-star hotel and deciding to keep the concierge service. Of all the migrating Germanic tribes, the Franks played the long game. While others were burning Rome, the Franks were slowly taking over northern Gaul, modern France. Their leader Clovis converted to Christianity, made deals with the Roman Church, and gradually built one of the most powerful medieval kingdoms. By the time the dust settled, the Franks were the last ones standing. Their kingdom evolved into what we now know as France, and unlike their fellow Germanic travelers, they didn't just sack Rome and move on, they became the foundation of a new European power. What can we learn from this grand migration? First, history has a dark sense of humor. One day, you're a feared warrior tribe. The next, you're desperately searching for land, while Rome gives you side-eye. Second, migration isn't just a modern issue. People have always been on the move, whether due to war, famine, or pushy Huns. And finally, when a bunch of angry warriors show up at your doorstep asking for food and shelter, maybe don't overcharge them. It never ends well. So what happened to all these migrating tribes? They didn't just disappear. The Visigoths settled in Spain. The Vandals made their mark on North Africa, and fun fact, their name is still synonymous with destruction, and the Ostrogoths tried their hand at Roman administration before things fell apart. But the real winners? The Franks, who laid the foundation for medieval Europe. And Rome? Well, it might have fallen, but it left a lasting impression. Even the Germanic tribes, who once fought tooth and nail against the empire, ended up embracing Roman culture, laws, and even its language. In the end, the so-called barbarians didn't destroy Rome, they just moved in, redecorated, and called it home. History is weird like that.